Hi, families. I'm back here, and we're looking at one of the examples of some problems we're going to be working on this week. And the focus this week in mathematics is wondering whether or not we are adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying in each situation. If we look at number one here, we would ask ourselves a very important question: and what am I doing here? What am I doing? I have four rows of chairs. There are five chairs in each row. How many chairs are there in all? Before I can even do anything, I have to ask myself a very important question. Do I have a total? If I have a total, then I know that I can either subtract or divide, but if I do not have a total, I'm going to add or multiply. It doesn't make sense to add 4 plus 5, so we're going to draw an array that has 4 rows, and inside of each row, there'll be 5 chairs. So I can multiply 4 times 5. I'll have 4 groups of 5. To solve this problem, I can skip count by 4 5 times, or I can skip count by 5 4 times. Okay? Let's look at a problem like problem number 2. Joe needs to put 21 flowers into vases. There are 3 vases. He wants to put the same number of flowers in each vase. How many flowers can he put in each vase? With a problem like this one, we're starting with a total. They're telling us he has 21 flowers to put in vases. They're telling us then he has 3 vases. So we know we're going to take 21, our total, and divide it into 3 equal groups, right? So to solve this problem, we would have 21 divided by 3, and then we could repeatedly subtract 3 from 21. We would have 18, 15, 12, 9. We would have 6. We would have 3. Then we'll have 0. So we would have 7 groups of 3. So the answer then would be 7. I want you talking through these problems with your students that they're doing on their homework. I did not include an example from the homework tonight, but I want to show you some problems that we're going to be looking at this week. I'll pause for a second if you want to take your phone or pause the video and go ahead and take a picture so you can work through these types of problems with your students and ask your students, what would you do in this situation? It's very important. And also, when you identify which operation you're going to use, then what are you going to do? What strategies are you going to use? Are you going to use an array? Are you going to use a number line? Are you going to use equal groups? What strategy do you plan to use to solve this problem? That's the very important question we need to start asking our students. And just because you use one strategy, you need to adopt another strategy to go ahead and double check behind yourself. I tell my students every day, we're mathematicians, but we're not perfect. Mathematicians make mistakes, so always double check behind yourself with another strategy. And I think that's where the problem lies in our data, is that the students try to solve and just say, okay, yeah, I got it. And they don't go behind themselves and double check. So talking about data, I want to ask this question here. What can we do together to bridge this gap of where we are now and where we need to be? Where we are, we're at 67 here. We're at 67% as a class average. Where do I want us to be? I want us at 80. 80% is mastery. Everything that we're doing this week is going to work toward bridging that gap, getting out of that hole of 13. We're down by 13. How can we get up? You're going to help us. Families, you're going to get on to 10 marks with your student. You're going to coach them with their homework. You're going to watch the videos every week because we can do this. I know that every student in this classroom can do this with your help, with my help, and with their confidence. And also with them going back, double checking, and using appropriate strategies to solve. We are in this together. I don't want to hold you tonight. I just want to go back and look at our newsletter for the week, our Hues on the Horizon. This week, we have a writing assignment. We have a writing assignment, a written response for the Christopher Columbus passage. We also have some written responses for the Just Be Patient passage. And the big writing assignment this week here, guys, is right here. Let's talk about it. So in class, we know that we're writing narrative stories based on past experience and memories, and we're going through the revising stage of that right now. But as a lot of you guys know, I'm in grad school and I'm working on urban education. I'm working on STEM education. I'm working on global education. So I want my students in my class to be global learners, to think beyond the classroom. And I want them to be students that question everything and accept nothing. I want them to go and investigate and inquire on their own and discover on their own. And with this, I thought it was appropriate for us to talk about Columbus Day. Today was Columbus Day. And a lot of parents reached out to say, "Oh, Miss Hughes, do we have class today?" And I said, "Yeah, we're in class. We're in class. We are not off for Columbus Day." So the students, I told them about Columbus Day. I played them a brain pop video about Christopher Columbus and who he is, and how some people see him as a hero and some people see him as a villain, and he wasn't really a hero. Instead, he was a thief. So we listened to brain pop. It was about 6 minutes long. If you want me to share that video with you, I'll be more than happy to do so. And in the reading, you're reading more about Christopher Columbus. And also, I have assigned your students to listen, not read, but listen. Listen is the key word, to a level Z. That's the end of fifth grade, a level Z book on Raz Kids about Christopher Columbus. But I want them just to listen to that story about Christopher Columbus, and I want them to write on that loose leaf paper that I provided, whether it's the front or the back. I just want them to write and tell me, should Christopher Columbus be remembered as a hero? I want you to talk about this with your student. Why not? Let's have open conversations. Let's have uncomfortable conversations to transform their minds. Okay. Christopher Columbus has a city named after him in the United States, Columbus, Ohio. Christopher Columbus is seen as a hero by some and a thief and villain by others. Why is that? I want us to even talk about, should we even have a Columbus Day? I want to talk about these things. And on Friday, we're going to have a debate as the classroom of learners, and we're going to look at another version of a story on an account of Christopher Columbus. I want us to think outside of our walls and think beyond the technology and all those other things. And I want to think about history and the way history was written. We're going to go really deep with this, and I want to incorporate that as a writing grade and also as a social studies grade. I'm excited about the debate that we're going to have on Friday as a community of learners. But in order to participate in the debate, your student must have their written statement telling whether or not they believe he is a hero or not, and they must have evidence from their readings on the passage or the readings on Raz Kids, or even the Brain Pop video if you want me to send that back out to you. This is really interesting stuff. I'm really excited about the learning that's going to take place this year. In the spirit of being forward and honest, like I like to be, I want to update you that we will be getting 2 to 3 new students added to our classroom on Monday. There are some different shifts and changes throughout the building that I want to be upfront about. So there has been a decision to collapse one of the third grade classrooms, and at this time I can't say which one it is until I'm given the permission to do so. But I would like to inform you that we will be adding 2 to 3 more students to our classroom on Monday, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to share how we feel, and we're also going to welcome these students into our classroom because they deserve a top-notch education just like your scholars do. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everything that you do. If you need me, I'm one email or message away. As always, pageA.hughes@cms.k12.nc.us. I'm super excited about this week of learning. Thank you.